if things go as you're expecting, Ken Ofori-Atta could be back to Ghana sooner than expected.
Oh yes, sooner than expected.
Ken not wanting to come is because he's trying to protect some important people in his party. And President Akufo-Addo could be one of them.
This is where Ken Ofori-Atta has been living. It's a luxury apartment at the west end of Washington, D.C., and some prominent people have lived in this place.
Papa, your friend Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, if you are not a former the vice president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, Ma men fear no Timo, yeah, vice president and not all tono. And no, Anna Ken Ofori-Atta.
United States law enforcement agencies have been our long-standing partners, and recently you've seen that we are even doing more collaborations with the FBI and the other law enforcement agencies. So that partnership has been there,
right?
And we collaborate in so many ways. I don't need to even explain to you because you are in the media and you have seen the collaboration that we've been doing over the years. I mean, over the months. So when I say that we are doing whatever we can.
Ken Ofori-Atta, what's happened? Permanent citizenship. Oh, United States of America. No way that you love for my. No one hear me. Ken Ofori-Atta eba egusua oil application. Said abeya ne papa Ken Ofori-Atta ebe timasa to so the United States of America citizen, according to lawyer Martin Pebu. Nemo no. Deputy Attorney-General Dominic Akutingi Ayine, Justice Srem Sai, rather, as I friends say Attorney-General, and a year wonders and the magic, or say around June, and he revoked the friends say documentations of Papa friend Ken Ofori-Atta. And the amount for the cat send a visa and expire. Now, no, Namanasa Zuri, say Papa no, Canada, and the UK. We citizen or 2031 2032 ana visa na ye be spy ndia masa moda wona na kwano oga so ma ka say hit what operation recover all it. How then are we going to recover? But you better survive it, me boana. You better survive it. According to lawyer Martin Pebu, or as simple as ABCD, wasn't it bad? Ken Ofori-Atta, I shall say your process, but some people be a job. Say, Obetima, this particular citizenship, ne papa. I send a papa to down to Ghana. Not on no fan, not truly demon, no process. If you send this, it's a quiet when you one day and the end of clear. Debbie and the baby no crave woman, but lawyer Martin Pebu, I say, baby, I get a and ran a bad thing. Say Ken Ofori-Atta, Ghana, but if indeed you are innocent, why are you doing everything humanly possible not to return to Ghana?
If for nothing at all, if you will not answer anything at all of the offenses, there's one offense that has some linking to President Akufo-Addo, which is the cathedral. If for nothing at all. If you won't answer any question, that alone should be answered. But you see, I tend to think that Ken not wanting to come is because he's trying to protect some important people in his party. And President Akufo-Addo could be one of them. Because President Akufo-Addo is not telling us whether Ken Ofori-Atta should come or not. Because if I was President Akufo-Addo, being a president before, I would state categorically for Ghanaians to hear that I want Ken Ofori-Atta to come back to face whatever offenses are being charged, against him, because you're a former president of this country. The man was in your cabinet. And forget the brother.
It's very important.
No, don't let us.
It's very important. That point should be made.
Wait. This has got nothing to do with whether his brother is not his brother. It's got to do with he was given a position by President Akufo-Addo. Things that have gone on, investigation has shown that the man is culpable for some offenses.
I mean, the last time in December, his office put out a statement on 16th of December. They said that it is true that the fate of Mr. Ofori-Atta is of considerable concern to the former president because, after all, apart from Mr. Ofori-Atta being his cousin, more importantly, he was the finance minister in both governments of his mandate. But that concern does not extend to wanting to interfere with the rule of law. Hopefully, this sets the record straight on this matter. So this was in relation to a publication that had been put out saying that a troubled Akufo-Addo seeks Mohammed's audience for Ofori-Atta's return. The office of the former president says that he's concerned about the situation, but that concern does not extend to interfering with the rule of law. This does not.
I don't want to hear from the office of former President Akufo-Addo. I want to hear from President Akufo-Addo himself.
Okay.
Who put Ken Ofori-Atta in place? Who gave him the appointment? Huh? Was it the office of President Akufo-Addo? And that is his private office.
Yeah,
He was president of this country.
Okay.
And all his subordinates, in terms of those who he put in power, owe him. Owe him a responsibility. And if it is shown that any of his ministers did wrong, it is his responsibility. Because he's been president, his responsibility to Ghanaians to let us know that he has advised his finance minister to come and face the music.
Okay.
His continuous silence makes it look as if there is some wudu-wudu going on between his cabinet and where Ken Ofori-Atta is. So, right now, and you see, once this case starts, how many people are under trial? How many of them?
I think about
8.
7 or 8.
What
yes.
are the offenses? How many offenses?
I think about 70 plus.
70 plus. Are you trying to tell me that out of this 70 plus, none will nail Ken Ofori-Atta? The special prosecutor has given a wide array. He knows those particular offenses that would nail him, but he's given a wide array.
Okay.
Don't let us go on with these shenanigans. Ken, if they don't deport you, once you are let go, please come back. You see, we heard some time ago that he was applying for American status. Is that true?
I mean, I've heard various individuals make reference to that.
Is that true?
We've not been able to confirm
It doesn't show that it is true.
Okay.
With what has happened, it doesn't show that it is true. We heard that, he's invested heavily in the American economy. Is that true? This doesn't, well, anyway, you can't tell. Once you have gone against American immigration laws, they will deal with you.
Okay.
It will be in the interest of Ken Ofori-Atta himself to come. And it will be in the interest of his political party to come and his family. Because, honestly speaking, his refusal to come and face justice and accountability has severely dented the integrity and the image of his party, of his family, and of himself. And so it is important he comes to face the music, as AB put it. You see, the lawyers will talk about the legal aspect of it, and quite frankly, AB's revelation this morning has distorted the equilibrium of my thoughts. Because the things I was trying to say, completely, this new information has changed everything that I planned to say this morning in respect of this issue. But you see, I believe Ken Ofori-Atta's issue, yes, you can look at it from legal point of view. You can also look at it from political point of view. And I think it's a big lesson for all of us. It's a big lesson for Parliament. It's a big lesson for his political party. It's a big lesson for appointees, government appointees, and even it's a big lesson for the appointors. Because I said a big lesson for Parliament because I don't think Ken Ofori-Atta should have been approved to be a minister. I mean, everything was against him. I mean, the Obotan case was there for us to see how he swindled Snates with this Obotan, so-called Obotan investments. It was so clear that the man had some questionable past. Yet Parliament approved him to become a minister. So it's a big lesson for Parliament. And this morning, as I was reflecting some of the things Parliament has done, it also came, I mean, this is just, I'm just using this one, as people say, to pass through. How Parliament allowed an impersonator to enter Parliament to be part of a process to pass a bill that became law. And I'm talking about e-levy. I mean, I was thinking about the things our Parliament, some of the things our Parliament has done to this country. And I think some of these things, I would say Parliament should bow its head in shame on some of these things, that they allowed Ken Ofori-Atta to be approved in spite of the fact that the man had a lot of issues against the state. And in that report, in that Obotan report, it was recommended that he should be prosecuted. He was not prosecuted. He got a new position, Finance Minister, and the result is what you have before us, refusing to come to your own country to face justice and accountability. So, but you see, and I said a lesson for the appointors, Nana Akufo-Addo, let's the truth be told. Is it Akotose, the late Akotose, should have been the finance minister. Yeah. Should have been the finance minister after working so hard as a ranking member for finance. He was supposed to be the finance minister. Nitiwul and Co, all of them, because they were all the positions they occupied as ranking members, they became ministers. But because of chop and their filthy deals they wanted to push through, Ken Ofori-Atta was made a finance minister by force. He was more or less imposed on us. And all of us know. All of us know the kind of results that we have.
I thought you were still in the MPP.
All of us as Ghanaians. Yes. So and I said it's a lesson to appointees because no condition is permanent. Every position that you're occupying, tomorrow you'll not be there. So what kind of footprint are you leaving behind? What kind of handprints are you leaving behind? So that when you are not there, you can boldly stay in your country. You can boldly, walk freely out there as someone who served this country with dignity and integrity. And I think that is a problem we have. And at the party, MPP, I have said this, that so long as Ken remains abroad, MPP must remain in opposition. That not to say that if Ken comes, MPP must come to power. Let me make that clear. But I'm saying that so long as the man remains abroad, MPP must remain in opposition. For me, what has to be said on this issue has been said. What has to be done has been done. Now, we have requested for his extradition. According to AB this morning, what has happened is just part of the process, except that some people have given us some raw deal in terms of misinformation. So, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I believe it should be made to come. And as I said last week, I think if we don't succeed in bringing him, that will be a source of motivation for others to also follow suit, to also steal, loot, plunder, and run away. But if we succeed, then corruption will not be exportable. Once you go, we can be brought back home.
Now, I know now, I investigative journalist, Manasi, Azuri Awuni. Papa ne say, o ka kire Ghana fo say, Ken Ofori-Atta eguta valid UK and Canadian visas. Baku expire 2032. Baku expire 2031. And even say you free US obetima ko UK. You didn't free UK obetima ko Canada. Enti kwano wa ye bebre ne ya chiro. So ka so ma pa de ne ye bebre. Na oso wa ye da so obe investigate e ku bia papa no o keka ko bia. O wi ro do se hwe se munim re bia papa na filie koduru na. Papa ye friend Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister. Efia na eye former the vice president of the United States of America. Kamala Harris. Ma ameno fear no timo oye vice president and all tono eno ana Ken Ofori-Atta over $1 million. I'm saying Enti yesika no ehɔ na ɔde kodure. Na ɔtiwa o pusa yɛ. Na all kind Bible verses no the boy kro no say that so for no ye na waso dan mu na nye o kan ko na nye bia quotation sika oje wo mu nko na ɔkan enye bia nkwa je wo the same way Ken Ofori-Atta oh my children I cannot leave you just you are sick go and seek for healthcare what's the be my children if I go you people will suffer eso na ono na me suffer o anuma kone okwa tifi go hunu so no aba na afọ be busa hey anaju kairi bom kairi bom na se nenka na adwuma nanka se ye kwa bazeze ekwe ntimi nchi no ye be da koji sika ye be ye dan agye sika e da Ken Ofori-Atta ho ba no gro so ma on se OSP se ongasa aye hwe ha ama papa ya fa akọ afi na epese on fa hamra o se mema eti according to Manase Azuri Awuni or say Ken Ofori-Atta Kamala Harrison efia no timu eno no wakoto fine beautiful building out Washington DC or south the capital na wa bolie fili uga so ye John onye John onye kwese ehunhwe gojo anko o ye content creator onye John na nya bre rough eti wa ye na adwen say baby ye kama correct 2-bedroom apartment na 2-bedroom pe and America over $1 million no any whole security tight pa that place ni place eti papa na ye ne honi manim na bibia wawie so beba Ghana de ye be brass ni saka no
9 miles from where he's detained now. That's about an hour and 30 minutes drive. So that was how it occurred in Washington, D.C. And then there is also the specific location where he was arrested. There is a luxury apartment complex in Washington, D.C., located on the 1111 24th Street in Washington, D.C., and the building is called the Westlight Apartment Complex. Westlight Apartment Complex. And my sources say this is where Ken Ofori-Atta has been living in the U.S. And then his son has been spotted in this building, his wife too. As to whether he's bought it or is renting it, they cannot say. But this is where Ken Ofori-Atta has been living. It's a luxury apartment at the west end of Washington, D.C., and some prominent people have lived in this place. The most prominent official who has lived in this building, the immediate past Vice President of the U.S., Kamala Harris, had a 2-bedroom condo in this apartment. And when she became the Vice President and was moving out, this property was listed and sold at $1.89 million. That's a 2-bedroom apartment in this building owned by Kamala Harris. Was listed in April 2021, and then it was eventually sold for almost $2 million. And this is in a prime location, with very good security, and it's just about a 20-minute walk from the White House. And this sources say this where Ken Ofori-Atta has been living in the U.S. until Tuesday morning, when he was emerging from this building. The ICE officials or agents just surrounded him, moved him to the car, and then drove him away to the detention center that he is at now.
Interesting. So he was actually arrested in Washington, D.C. and moved to Virginia.
Yes, he was in Washington, D.C., and the exact location, as I've said, is 1111 24th Street in Washington. And if you Google the Westlight Apartments in Washington, D.C., is quite a prime location. We are told some diplomats and very important people live there. A luxury apartment complex because of its security and then also location, its centrality to some of the most important buildings in Washington, D.C. That's where Ken has been living.
And this is some exclusive information Manasseh has picked, and he's just disclosing it publicly for the first time here on Key Point. And you say, based on the information you have, the entire process of picking up Ken Ofori-Atta looked like more of a, for the lack of a better expression, a targeted one, that they went in specifically for him.
Exactly. That is what the sources that witnessed the arrest said, and that it was very swift. Some people who were even not looking may not have seen, because as soon as he emerged, they picked him up, and according to them, he's not been living in the so-called like a fugitive that would be said here. That he moves about freely, comes out, goes out, and on this occasion, as soon as he stepped out, they surrounded him and picked him.
Now, I know that the Deputy Attorney-General Justice Srem Sai as the authentic information at the Attorney General Office received here from United States of America about the visa of former Finance Minister Papa Ken Ofori-Atta, and he said, and now in Komodia Ghana Attorney General and Minister of Justice any United States of America relationship and say so omobana dia omabeche frosters in free ha romance come for na dia mko na esu egusu aye build rapport aye di nkomo enti nkomo de dia mu no ana pe reporter omode ma US for no ekwa say okay on the 7th in June 2025 year ana mo say okay ye be terminate papa no ye be revoke the visa no bibia na on say no ye ne ni hwe but na say ya revoke wi a na ye ntimi extradite no mo yesa mo so gra mo ye na ma confuse nipa mo nipa ya mo ntia manfo operation cover all ya kasa ya bre say Ken Ofori-Atta we the bigger fish as ono mo nsa so no say kukwe ahia Ghana yetimi sa ko the friends say a different Christmas bio and as a different election victory day bio and as Independence Day, because OBS say the focal point of everything that was in tantamount to corruption was because of this man, Papa Ken Ofori-Atta. Sani Yesilie say, every single Ghanaian is praying. Say the man will come, stand in the witness box, defend himself with the lawyers backing him. Yeah, person or answer questions near who say the amount for can throw. Now, innocent tampa. Besin kubenu ka preba hwinsi hwema hwenko na hweyaba but yatima revoke na yi wo US dia fantastic eyes for you da mase de na aka Attorney General de na mo ye e de aka obi zafe na mamo ye hu se enye ni visa na ewuo na ye momom na maboa ma ye revoke dia then you should be having extra plan come plan in your grass mo be e be revoke na yi nko a. There should be extra plan. Now, hey, most of them report that 7th of June to January of the next year. Anna, Omatino. Hey, and the extradition is going to take it 4 years. And the extradition is going to take it 4 years. Yeah! And the Aquana became Bible like we are so. Abedi is Gamu Mana go free and answer. Hey, I'm worried. My young worried rough. Ken Ofori-Atta also we need bonnet brafie now my yere twen brafie.
At the beginning of this, that when it comes to fugitive of justice or fugitive from justice, the person who is running away from justice, the fundamental rule when it comes to two states dealing with each other is that no person, apart from citizens, no person has the right to remain in another person's country. Mm-hmm. So, an extradition, that's the process of extradition that we know as a result of extradition treaty, is not the only way that a person will be removed from one country and surrendered to another country. Right. So, we need to draw two lines here. The formal extradition process and other ways of getting a fugitive to come back home, other lawful ways of getting a fugitive to come back home. What we have been dealing with over the period has been more focused on what? Extradition.
Yes.
Right. But there are other ways of getting a fugitive to arrive in the country. We have been doing our best to ensure that anyone who has run away from accountability and justice is brought to book. I told you that we arrested someone recently who was at large, and those are the processes that we have done.
So was the person out of the country?
Yeah, the person was out of the country.
The one who has just been arrested?
Yes, and now he's here.
Which country was he?
It was in the, I think, United States.
So the U.S. authorities helped you to arrest this person?
I won't give the details.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
because like I said, extradition is not the only process. So
okay, great.
Now to
okay,
now to the former finance minister. As at June 2025, that's last year, his visa got revoked. I know I've seen statements from people who said the visa expired.
I see. So as of June 2025, his visa was revoked.
Revoked. So it's not a question of expiration of visa.
No, so explain that, because there's some information about his visa expiring in February 2026. That's 14 February. I spoke to Manasseh a couple of days ago.
Take it for me.
That.
Take
so
it for me.
Explain what you mean.
The information we have from authentic sources is that his visa was revoked in 2025, June 2025. So he's been living in America without everything I can put to you. But it is just surprising that we have information from people out there, some purporting to be formal information, which is completely contrary to what the reality is.
Which is what, for instance?
Which is that visa did not expire.
True.
Visa got revoked.
That's what some of his persons who speak for him have been saying.
Precisely. So I'm saying that apart from extradition, there are other ways of making sure that persons
come into the country.
Exactly.
So this is one of them.
And the Attorney General's office is exploring every possible avenue of having anyone who has run away from the Republic to be returned to accountability.
So,
and we will succeed.
You will succeed. You're making this emphatic statement on television today that you will succeed.
We will use every possible legal means to bring anyone who is running away from justice in this country.
Including Ken Ofori-Atta?
Yes.
Did his detention at the Virginia Center, have anything to do with you, the Attorney General's office?
If you can explain your question, because we don't have any extraterritorial powers to arrest people and detain them in Virginia, we cannot.
Did the U.S. Did the U.S. authorities take into consideration your request?
I don't know what they took into consideration in arresting and detaining him, but the information we have is what I've told you, that it is ICE will not come for you unless you have visa issues.
True.
So that is what has happened.
And this detention, you had already put out an extradition request to the U.S.
That is,
correct?
Yeah, that is one way of getting. So we are using, like I mentioned,
which was going to take a longer period.
Yeah.
If you have to go through the process. And for 6 months, between June and December, ICE did not catch him until last week. What happened?
That's what happened.
Did the U.S. collaborate with you in any way?
No,
Did they give you some
the United States
information?
law enforcement agencies have been our long-standing partners, and recently you've seen that we are even doing more collaborations with the FBI and the other law enforcement agencies. So that partnership has been there,
right?
And we collaborate in so many ways. I don't need to even explain to you because you are in the media and you have seen the collaboration that we've been doing over the years. I mean, over the months. So when I say that we are doing whatever we can, look, the people of this country have elected President John Mahama to put in place mechanism for bringing people to account. It's a question of accountability. And President Mahama has taken it more seriously than anything he's doing. And we, the persons who have been appointed as ministers to do the work for the president, have no option but to take these things very seriously. And there will not be anything that will leave, any stone that will leave unturned in achieving the goal. And that's what I'm telling you, that if anyone thinks that running away to another country would be a solution to, would be a channel or a path to refuse or to refuse to subject himself to accountability. Well, not under this government. We are going to do everything within our powers, which the law allows us to do, to bring anybody back to this country. And it doesn't have to be extradition only.
Will his detention possibly lead to him being returned to Ghana?
Well, ICE, as far as I understand the processes of ICE, when you don't have a legitimate basis to remain in the United States, they arrest you, they process you using their own administrative or judicial means, and they repatriate you to your country.
His lawyers say they are contesting it. He has a petition, which is already in motion.
Well, I am not aware of any petition from his lawyers. What I'm aware of is that the ICE itself has its own mechanisms for giving hearing, administrative and judicial mechanisms. He may take advantage of that, and on the 20th of this month, there will be a preliminary hearing on that. And when that happens, depending on the outcome of what his decision is, we may have him or he may remain in the process for a bit, maybe for a few more weeks. But be that as it may, we have been given a job to do. We are committed to doing that job. And we will ensure that what the people of Ghana are entitled to, which is accountability, will be done.
I see. He has. This is what the letter from his or the notice from his lawyers read. Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta has a pending petition for adjustment of status, which authorizes a person to stay in the U.S. legally past the period of validity of their visa. Under U.S. law, a change of status by this method is common. That's what they say.
That I think makes the point. And I heard legally. So they are trying to legalize something. I believe that's what it means.
Yes.
They are trying to legalize something which otherwise would not be legal.
So they're saying that staying, that's based on staying beyond your...
About this. I am here as a public official, and I've given you information that I am reliably, seized of. And I'm telling you that his visa was revoked as far back as June 2025.
And say they're going to preliminary hearing of this said pending petition on the 20th?
I don't know which petition they are is being referred to. But you see, if the petition is a way of securing your lawful stay, the fact that law enforcement have picked someone up and have detained the person under this ICE program should tell us that there's some illegality involved. There's a criminal aspect of the matter. That's law. ICE is a law enforcement agency, and a law enforcement agency will not come and arrest you on civil matters. So these statements, which seek to make it look as though it's a civil matter, when the evidence on the ground suggests, indicates that law enforcement has come for you, they've detained. Who detained someone if the person has not breached a law? In the United States of America, you go and arrest someone, put the person behind bars. So sometimes I wish the public is able to read in between these lines. Even in a third world country, you cannot go and arrest someone because of civil matters and detain the person and announce that I've arrested this person, I've detained him for civil matters.
I see.
So if in the United States, law enforcement agencies have arrested someone, they've put the person in detention, and you want to make it look like it's a civil matter and there's an application and there's not, then I don't know what you want to tell the people of your audience.
Well, I'm just reading the letter. You're referring to the letter from his lawyers.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but I don't see, if the letter admits, I have not paid attention to the details of this letter.
I've just read that part.
But I'm telling you that if the letter, you understand, or the information in the letter suggests that it's a civil matter, then it's a civil matter. Then I don't see how a civil matter will result in someone being arrested and detained.
I see. This adjustment of status, did you get that information earlier that he was trying to seek permanent stay in the United States? Because that has been suggested.
I am not aware of any information to that effect that he's trying to seek permanent stay. And if you want to seek a permanent stay, that is a civil matter, right? I am purely speaking to the law enforcement issues. So if there is any civil matter somewhere which suggests that someone, I don't know how that affects this issue, and whether it's normal or not. I am aware of the fact that the former Minister of Finance is in detention by law enforcement agencies in lawful custody. As to what civil entitlements or rights are available or privileges are available to him, when you are in detention, you cannot be in detention for a civil matter.
I see. Can this detention be taken advantage of by you, or do you intend to leverage that to speed up the process of bringing him to Ghana?
We are, like I said, we are taking advantage of everything. And it didn't start today. We have been on this from the very moment that we realized that the former minister was out of the country and was unwilling to return, So we have been doing works to make sure that he returns, and that is what we are committed to doing.
Including taking advantage of this. So,
oh, indeed, of course. No, if you say taking advantage,
you leverage,
we are involved. We are actually keenly interested and involved in this. So it's not even about to take advantage of it. We have been on this track from day one.
You've been involved in all of these matters, including...
We collaborate with law enforcement agencies from the United States on this matter.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, so for the viewers who are watching, if things go as you are expecting, Ken Ofori-Atta could be back to Ghana sooner than expected.
Oh, yes, sooner than expected.
But the empire, Ken Ofori-Atta, what's happened? Permanent citizenship. Oh, United States of America. No, die life for my. No, near we. Obano so I, what do you sika? Yesika no we na de go here no. Oh yes one. Oh no ko bo ma ko pay visa. Man, I am a first lawyer Martin Kwibu. I am saying mun kan tentem. Mun kan tentem nya hu tentem. Nya hu ye na Attorney-General ye bedwa mu no. Hwe yesi mansion ya wakoto. There's a vice president of United States of America. If you don't me afford it, Ken Ofori-Atta ko afford it. $1 million jabam. Or they got to dine. Oh, tenam afili. Yan yesiko. Our taxpayers' money. Now, Attorney-General Mugusu mo dragging mu fit. Ya revoked that June. Inti afi na yenya results. Jen kwa no mo pa o ba ye no maso ye nkrofo da mo no mo ko ye pe ba ko pe aye ya ye dia. Eno so da na buachi bidi. Na we ye di piaka. We no ye di piaka. Why a naked truth, our Oldboga trends, for naked truth on this particular Ken Ofori-Atta issue no fatu comment section na say papa no ade na chinchina twa wo so ni bone no gu so odwane Attorney-General yi yenye gidie mo de ma ho fie na mo so ba koto no super duper fantastic say sika pa no din sa wo se be ya pa comment our comment section na say subscribe like na share mo unia esu enya bi enwe edi no eye ba ko pe Maxi Billian our naked truth Oldboga trends makrao bye bye.